right, guys, we got the mountain bracket. The mountain bracket is bolted to this already. You just have to loosen up these screws here and give it a little turn so you can pull it out. This is what you're gonna bolt to the ceiling. But remember to keep this in order. If you turn to the next page, from that page that we was on, page 3, with all of the different parts, it's gonna show you an image of everything that needs to be in alignment in order to put the fan up. And what you can't do is you can't skip any of these steps, because if you go in and bolt this up and you have the rod already in here, for instance, it's gonna be hard to get this part on. So that's the part you gotta figure out. So see, you can't get it on, it's too late. So you gotta kind of put it together already the way you want it assembled. Well, hold on. Let me see, I might have been doing something. Yep. Being a little dumb right there. So you can go ahead and drop this through. And that way when you bolt it to the wall, to your ceiling, you're gonna already just line up those holes, bolt it, pull that pin out. You see I pulled that pin out, and then you want it to go. In the picture they have, for illustration purposes, they have shorter mounts. They're using this mount instead of the long one, but since I have high ceilings, I'm gonna use the long one. And then you see, it's the piece that go on. Yes. And then this is just a little cap, so it can cover up these holes right here. All right, all the pieces that you take out, like I took this pin out with this cotter pin, I'm gonna just sit it in my light cover just to be safe, so I know where I put it. And this one is a little different, so you have all these wires that's gonna hook up to the receiver. And in this bag, you will find this receiver. This receiver is gonna go in the mount. You don't have to put that in there. You can wait till you get it bolted up to the ceiling. Rubber band off. What is this? Safety nut. Oh, this is something that's just to help you to hold the. That's pretty smart. They put this on here to help you hold the fan up there. When I put the old fan up, I had to have my sons to help me. What you're gonna do is, whichever rod you decide to use, you're gonna have to get these wires through here. So let's go with this row first. Just gonna take it and jam it in and push it all the way through. All right, guys, here go a little trick to run these cables through. So what I did is I'm twisting them all up. And here you got a safety rod. So what I'm gonna do is, I got all my parts together, how it is on the picture. You have to have all of these pieces lined up. And so you gotta run them through this hanging tube. So you take you a hanger, and you bend you a little loop in there. It's gonna be the easiest way to pull it through, especially if you're using the same rod that I'm using, the longer one. The shorter one, it may be a little simpler than this. You just gonna stuff it through there, and I'm gonna hook it to the safety wire. All these other wires gonna come along with it. And if you got some rough hands like me, if you don't, get some pliers and you can tighten this up. But if you got some pretty rough hands, you can just squeeze it. And what you want to do is, you want to get these wires kind of started in there. So once you get them started, take it. See, you got it. I pulled it right through. I got a little bit of a jam right here, so I have to do some finessing. So if you get you a little jam, you just kind of twist it. You take a little flathead to kind of turn this how I want it. It's a little harder than I anticipated, but oh well, we're gonna get it done. All right, see, had to fight it a little bit, but we got it through. And then the other wires, they're not too far behind it. Just take my little flathead and get them to the side I want them to come out of. They all right here. Took that other end and started pushing it through. All the wires came through. Almost all of them. I believe it's a blue one in here somewhere. Oh, I see it. Once we get a little blue through, we got all the wires. Go to blue one. So as you doing that, what you're gonna do is go back to this end. You're gonna just screw it into the actual fan motor. I don't know if y'all out there, y'all know this righty tighty, lefty loosey. So here you got a couple of screws you're gonna have to unloosen. Once you unloosen these two screws, you screw this in and then line it up with this hole, and then you put your cotter pin back in. You put your pin back in and your cotter pin to lock it in. And all this, you're gonna cover it up here. And then we ready to hang the fan. Next section of the video, we coming back to hang the fan. All right, you guys, we back. I got everything pretty much assembled in order. Like not on the wall. Like I said, I put this pin through. And also you have these screws here. Once you align your hole that's in your down rod, you're gonna end up putting a pin through and put your cotter pin in to lock it into place. And you also have to tighten these screws back down. You may have to open them up once you screw in this down rod in. Got this cotter pin, and then in my next step, we're gonna go ahead and start bolting the mounting bracket to the ceiling. And also in the pack, it got a J hook. This is for safety, so you hook this J hook up to this cable, so it'll hold the fan. If anything ever happened, whether this comes undone or anything, it'll still hold the fan up there. It won't fall down and hit you in the head like a freaking cartoon or something. What we're doing here is we figuring out the position that we want our mounting bracket. I'm not gonna put it back how my old one was. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make 2 new marks right in the center. So you just mark out these holes. To be safe, you can screw as many holes as you can, but I would at least do 4. I'm gonna at least do 4 holes And what you want to do is when you drill your pilot holes, you want to make sure you go all the way through. That way when you put your screws in, you catching solid wood. You want to go through the sheetrock into the solid wood. Let's see. All right, you guys, I got my mounting bracket bolted to the ceiling. And also, if you're looking at left-hand corner, I got that J-hook up there. I drilled a pilot hole and just twisted it by hand and got some pliers and twisted it the rest of the way. You don't want to close up the gap. You want to leave a little gap. That's what you're gonna hook the safety harness up to, the extra wire. So go over here, top table. This right here, this is what that J hook is gonna hook. You're gonna hook up to that J hook. This cable right here is strictly for safety, in case that mounting bracket falls down or something happen. So the next step, guys, you got to take these. So you got all these different color wires here. If you remember from the takedown video, you only have 3 wires. So we gotta actually hook all of these, match all of these colors up. And they give you some nuts in the kit also. So you just twist them in time so you can actually hook up a receiver. All right, you guys, we back from commercial break. We got these hooked up. We got the white and the blue for the light hooked up. And you have this to plug into the receiver. You just use the nuts that was provided in the kit. And we also have this one that was provided as well. And so this one is gonna hook up to the receiver. If you watched the beginning of this video when I was taking the fan down, if you remember, we only had a black wire, a white wire, and a green wire to disconnect the old fan. So this one goes in the other end of the receiver, and these are gonna hook, the only ones that's gonna hook up to the wires that's coming out of the house. So this green is gonna match with these greens, and then we hook the white and the black up and the green to ground the house. And the next step, you will see the fan put up with all of the wires starting to be connected. All right, you guys, we back. I got all of my wiring hooked up. I got the receiver installed. As you can see, that go to black, that go to white, and that go to green. We got all of those hooked up, so you're probably ready to turn your power back on, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my, you gotta kind of tuck these wires around a little bit. You gotta kind of get them all inside this bracket, or this housing, should I say. It's probably the hardest part. All right, you guys, now I got the housing and everything. Got the wires all tucked inside that housing. As you can see, all I gotta do now is put the blades on, and the blades are gonna bolt right in there where you see all them holes. So come back, we got all of the screws for this is all the screws for your fan blades. So next step, gonna hang the fan blades up, and then the light is the last part. All right, guys, we back. All I gotta say is your shoulders better be in decent shape before you take on this task. Put all our fan blades in. We got all our mounting screws screwed in, tightened up. It's one of them 8-blade fans. And so for the light, you got these 3 bolts in place right here. You got these 2 wires to hook up. You just take your screwdriver and unloosen these 3. Let me show you, walk you over here. Here's our light. You see those 3 holes? Them 3 holes is you just gonna line them up and take these screws out and screw them back in the exact same place. And your light cover will go on. You twist it into these grooves. You just put it in and turn it. It's gonna be probably clockwise to tighten it up, and counterclockwise if you ever need to take it down. But I'll show you the finished product. All right, guys, I got my 3 screws in. So now what you want to do is you want to go back to your electrical breaker box and turn your breaker back on. It's okay now. Turn your breaker back on. We got the light bolted up. We got the remote. I put some batteries in already. So we just gonna put the cover on for the lights. Like I said, you just put it on, turn it clockwise. And let's see if we got some action. Yep, that little light. See if we can get the fan to go. All right, we got fan. So that's it today, guys. That showed you how to put a fan up. We showed you how to take the old one down first. The old one was more simple to put up. Then we showed you how to put the new one up. This one came from Home Depot, 65 inch. My old fan was a 60 inch. Appreciate you guys for checking it out. I hope this helped you out with your next fan install. I got my 3 screws in.
Wait.